Alright. Hello everybody and welcome to another in my series of weekend recaps. There is quite a bit that happened this weekend, so let's just get started. So, the first thing that really happened was that Auburn-Georgia game, and I unfortunately didn't get to watch most of the game because the Duck game was on at the same time, so I kind of just had to I saw the very beginning and the very end, but I saw that awesome play at the end. I put that up on the channel. If you didn't get a chance to see it, go check it out. It was a really awesome play. I mean, it was about, might be the most amazing play you've ever seen. I mean, it was that great. And Auburn won the game, obviously, and I just want to say, I think they're a really good team. I think they can beat Alabama. I'm not going to say they will, but I think, if anybody's going to, I think they're going to. And so, yeah, let's move on to the Duck game itself. Now, it was against Utah, which I don't think Utah's a bad team, but I don't think they're really that great either. And I didn't necessarily like what I saw. I mean, I'm a big person. You probably know by now. A win for me is a win, and I don't really care what happened. But it's like we really should have run the ball a little bit better. That's the thing that kind of concerns me. I watched BCS Countdown. I forget Jesse Palmer, I think maybe said Oregon is regressing, and I can't disagree with them really. I mean, I still think they can beat whoever's in their path because Arizona, Oregon State, then probably UCLA again. Doesn't really concern me too much, but I am, aware. I mean, that Stanford game was just such a deflating loss, and just kind of just a killing. That's the best word, deflating loss. I mean, when it's just sort of takes all the wind out of your sails, and so yeah. But I think I worry a little bit about Mariota's injury. I'm not too concerned about it because I think he can still throw the ball really well. He proved that against Utah. He threw it well over and over. But I think for whatever reason, the running game just did not really ever quite, just didn't quite get going. And I think the Ducks are still, like I say, they're still going to do well. And I think if they meet Ohio State in the Rose Bowl, I think they'll beat Ohio State. But they'll be incredibly amped up for that game because it's just such a exciting matchup. But and I would like to see Thomas Tyner. Excuse me, Thomas Tyner used a little bit more because I think he's the most powerful of our running backs, and I think he should be used more. Okay, now I need to get off the Ducks. I talked about them forever. Let's get to the USC Stanford game. Okay, something I've never said before. Go Trojans. I love what they did Saturday night. I think it's awesome that they beat Stanford. Probably because I hate Stanford more than anything in the world, and I think that it's just so frustrating because, like, Stanford, they'll lose a game like this, for instance, because I think they sort of, and rightfully so, like, they get more, prepare maybe harder and come out with more of a fight in them against the Ducks, which, I mean, I would too. The Ducks are a really good team, but I'm just saying, like, why do they have to? It's like they against USC, against the Ducks, zero. It's flawless. Zero. They like no penalties, no turnovers, no things everything that could have gone their way went their way, and it does against the Ducks. I don't really know why, but I think it's just the mindset. And against USC, though, there were mistakes, there were interceptions, there were penalties, there were, stuff like that blocked field goals. It was very crucial. So I just look at that and I say, the Trojans did get a little bit lucky, I will say, but I think they won the game, and I was very glad because it obviously puts Oregon back at the top of the Pac-12 North in position for a Pac-12 championship and a Rose Bowl. And yeah, so I was really happy about that. And USC, I think they were able to get their quarterback, Kessler, he made plays when he was needed. I think they ran the ball well enough, and they at least have Stanford honor it. And I think that they got some luck. And so we need to get to the NFL here. There's a lot to cover in the NFL as well. So Seahawks obviously won again. They are now 10-1. Beat the Minnesota Vikings, at Seattle, who I don't really have a lot of respect for, but so we finally beat a bad team by a lot, which I was glad to see. And the Percy Harvin came finally playing for Seattle. I was really, really glad. I think every Seattle fan was extremely happy to see that. And now we have a bye week to prepare for the Saints at home and on the road for the 49ers. And I think that that's a perfect time for a bye week. And I think we're getting healthy. And in time, I think Harvin coming back is huge. Russell O'Toole on the line. Offensive line was back. I'd like to see Brandon Browner. I'm not sure when he's going to be back, but I think Walter Thurmond is more than capable of playing for him while he's out. And Sherman obviously is incredible. And so, yeah, that's what I've got for them. Denver versus Kansas City. It was about what I expected for that game. I think the Broncos just have had too much firepower on their offense for Kansas City to have a chance to win, and I think Kansas City has a really good defense. I think they played a weak schedule, and I think their offense is not very good, and so yeah, I think they're a little bit overrated. I think away from home, they're going to not do well against good teams, or at least win against good teams, and I just think they couldn't score enough points to keep pace with Denver, and Manning, he just gets rid of the ball so fast that they can't get enough of a pass rush on him to make a difference, to sack him. So that was a pretty fun game, and so now let's start the Monday night game, the New England and Carolina. I think I'll admit I was surprised at how good the Panthers looked. I think I don't know what got into them, but they are now playing like a contender, at least in, to win their division. And if the Saints have any kind of fall off, or their Panthers, I think, can win the division. And you've got, their defense, the Panthers' defense is just at the top. I mean, toward the top of the list of NFL defenses. It's very good, and I think they were able to keep Tom Brady. They were able to stop him enough to win the game, and I want to cover the big topic of the day is kind of that Gronkowski was held or pass interfered, and I would agree with that. I think the ball, while it was still in the air, I think he kind of, Luke Kuechly for the Panthers kind of went up and stopped Gronk from coming back to the ball. And I don't think he would have caught, like, let's say Kuechly didn't do that, I still don't think he would have caught the ball. But still, I think it was a flag, and I think Patriots should have a first and goal at the 1, and for one more play, and I think they probably would have won that game, because they could have run the ball. I mean, they could have handed it to LeGarrette Blount and got him that way, or Brady probably could have thrown a touchdown to somebody. But again, my rule, and I was rooting for the Patriots, so I obviously kind of I hated to see the game end like that, but my sort of rule in football, or in sports really, is if one play should not be, you should not pin the whole game on one play. I hate what ifs, Well, what if they wouldn't have picked up the flag, or the Patriots did have the entire game that they should have probably played better in. That's kind of my rule, is you should not pin the entire game on one play. I do think he was interfered with, but I just want to stand by my rule, because I think it applies here, because I think the Panthers outplayed them the entire night, really. I mean, that's what it came down to. And so people see that play different ways. I've heard a lot of people just today talking about that, and I just think that he was interfered, but you cannot pin the whole game on that one play. So so a lot to cover, needed to be covered here. So thank you very much for watching, as always. And I think next week should be probably not as much to cover, because Seahawks have the week off, and but we'll see. So if you enjoyed, don't forget the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And have a great day.